The presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, was in faraway southeast, promising to ensure that an Igbo man succeeds him after completing his tenure if he wins the 2023 general election. The former vice president also vowed to prioritize developmental projects in the southeast and other regions when elected, saying that any project in any state is a favor to Nigeria. The PDP presidential candidate made this known while addressing Southeast PDP stakeholders in Enugu. I have joining me from Abuja studio a member of the PDP and also a member of Atiku Abubakar National Presidential Campaign Council, Dr. Atiku Pierce. Good to have you join us, Dr. Pierce.
Good to be here.
So let me start with the fact that you will be inaugurating your campaign council today. Amidst the internal wranglings within your party, some members of your campaign council, especially those from the South caucus, have pulled out from your campaign council. So how exactly are you resolving this problem, or are you going ahead to fill these positions where they are saying, look, if this doesn't happen, if the national chairman doesn't resign, they are out of the campaign council?
I took time off to come and do this interview. I want to assure you that the few members, I think about 10 or 12 well-known leaders of our party who decided to pull out of the campaign council are not only from the southeast, and there are also people from the north. So it's not a question of the south pulling out. Some of us, like myself and many others, are from the south, and we are still members of the campaign council. And I tell you, there are about 450 people, former leaders of all categories from all over the country who are being inaugurated today. And of the 450 people or so, about 10 or 15 people have pulled out. Therefore, as things stand, the campaign council is solid, it is valid, it is legitimate, and the inauguration is going on now. Secondly, those who have decided to pull out may have or are beginning to have a change of heart already. One of the most prominent members of that group, Governor Autumn, just yesterday or the day before, decided to come back into the council. So we have some problems, but they are being worked out as time goes on, as we go along.
Are they being worked out? Because some of them, whilst the issue is that the national chairman should resign, but some of them are also very loyal to the governor of Cross River. And we know that Secondus which is your former national chairman, has now been brought into the campaign council. And people, a lot of analysts are saying, look, that's almost like a direct confrontation to Governor Wike. So when you have that kind of situation, it almost seems as though you have decided not to resolve the situation. How are you really addressing these issues?
Look, Governor Wike is one man. He is the governor of one state. And Governor Wike is not the only PDP member in Rivers State. He is not the only governor. We have various former governors, senators, members of the House of Reps, top community leaders in Rivers State who are solidly behind the Atiku presidency, as well as Dr. Ayu staying on as our national chairman. Therefore, even though the people who are with Governor Wike in Rivers State, the vast majority of our people, even in Rivers State, are with the team, and they're ready to do the work for us to go and succeed in 2023. Don't forget, in Rivers State, you have several members of the PDP who have got their ticket as senators. Some have their ticket as members of the House of Representatives, some assembly, state assembly. All of them are PDP, and they are fully committed to working on this election. And as I said, even Governor Wike, mark my word, in a few more weeks, is going to have to come to the negotiation table again, because one by one, the people who were with him are leaving him, and they're having a change of heart, and they're coming back into the campaign council. One prominent one happened yesterday. That is Governor Autumn of Benue State.
All right, let me ask you, because we will continue to keep our eyes on that, on what you just said about Governor Wike coming to the negotiation table. But let me ask you about this promise, as it were, made by your presidential candidate in the Southeast, where he said that he will ensure that an Igbo man succeeds him. I mean, that's a very, that's a lofty promise to make to anybody, that you ensure that an Igbo man succeeds you if he wins the election. Was that just a campaign statement? And how do you think that people will react to that, that kind of statement?
Well, I read his statement. I did not think he said he's going to make sure that a person from Southeast takes over from him as president. What he said was, after him, very likely, prominently, somebody from the Southeast, his election is evidence that the chances of the Southeast becoming a president in the future is very high. This is the point. Atiku is not an autocrat, is not a dictator, is not the one that's going to decide who's going to be the next president of Nigeria from PDP or from anywhere else. All he's saying is that he is going to have a fair and balanced relationship with the Southeast, so much so that the Southeast will not be shortchanged in any way, as it has been in the past. Therefore, once the Southeast is integrated into the system of Nigeria properly as it should be, then anybody from the Southeast who campaigns for president could become president. I'll give you an example. If it hadn't been for Atiku, who is so prominent and so powerful, so experienced and almost larger than life, in this election that the primaries of the PDP we had a few months ago, I tell you, if Peter Obi has stayed in the party, his chances of becoming president very high. It is this same Governor Wike that drove Obi out of the party with monetizing money everywhere to do these primaries of the election. And Obi got worried and scared and left. Those things will not happen in the future. And by the grace of God, people of Southeast extraction, of the caliber of Peter Obi, there are many of them, he's not the only one. Come back to the party, stay in the party, take your stake in the party, challenge for the presidency. The chances are very high next time round. Atiku is just too formidable for anybody.
All right, I wish that I could speak to you more on what you just said about Governor Wike being responsible for Peter Obi leaving your party, but we do have to go on commercial. Thank you so much for talking to us. Member of Atiku, PDP member, as also a member of the Atiku Abubakar National Presidential Campaign, Dr. Atiku.